What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to solve the 2x3x3. Now before we start, I just want to let you guys know you don't need any prior puzzle solving experience to solve this cube, and also the fact that there's going to be timestamps in the description so you could jump around to different parts of the video. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. Okay, so from our scrambled cube, step 1 is actually going to be to solve all of the yellow on one side and all of the white of the other, and I'm going to show you all the cases of how that can happen and how we can solve this. Now the first case is one that I like to call the double L. So if you look, we kind of have this L of yellow on one side with a white dot, and on the other side we have this L of white with a yellow dot. When we have this case, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure we're going to turn the top and bottom layers so that our colors that are a dot on their respective sides, we want them to be within this front layer. So this front layer that turns, we want the dot on there. So on the top, I have this white dot, and that is in this top turning layer, so that's good. And on the bottom, we have this yellow dot. If I was to turn that same front layer, we check that yellow dot is turning. So this is good. So not only, however, do we want it to have both of these dot pieces in this front layer, we want to make sure that they are not on top of each other. So if I was to have it like this, so both these two dot pieces are in this front layer, so that step is checked, but this white dot piece is above this yellow dot piece. So that is bad. What we want to make sure is that they are not on top of each other. So right now I have this white dot piece in the top left, in the bottom dot piece in the bottom right. Because they're not on top of each other and they are in this front turning face, this is perfect. Okay, so in this case, there are two ways the dot pieces can be oriented. The first one will be that you have one in the top left and in the bottom right. When this happens, we are going to do the right side up. We're going to turn the top this way and then right side back down. And that will solve all your yellow and white. The other case in this position would be where you have your dot piece in the top right and in the bottom left. When this happens, we are going to do the left side up, we're going to turn the top this way, and then we're going to turn the left side back down. And this will also solve all your yellow and your white. Now another case you might have is where on one of your top sides, one of your sides I should say, you have this kind of checkerboard looking pattern, and on the other side you have a bar. When you have this situation, what you're going to want to do, we're going to turn the cube so we have the bar on our bottom side. So if you're holding it like this, with the bar on the top and the checkerboard on the bottom, we're just going to turn it so that bar is on our bottom side. From there, what we're going to do is we're just going to turn our right side once. If we do that, what we're going to see is that on one of our sides, on both of our sides, we will have this little L kind of thing I showed you from earlier. And then I just showed you how to solve that, so we could solve this the same way we normally would. Now another case you might run into is where you have that same checkerboard as before, but it's actually on both sides. When this happens, what we're going to want to do is we're just going to turn the right side up once, and we're going to see what happens. If on both your sides now, you have bars of white and yellow, this means you are on to our next case, and I will show you how to do that in a minute, but there is a second situation that can happen, and I will show you that now. Now the second situation is where you have both those checkerboards again, you turn that right side up, and you check, but there's actually still two checkerboards. When this happens, what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to turn the top side once, any direction, and then we're going to do that right turn up again. This will actually make us have these two bars now, and we could proceed as I'm about to show you. So when we have these bars on both of our top and bottom layer, or top and bottom face, I should say, what we're going to do is we're going to turn them so they are vertically aligned with us. So white is going vertically this way, yellow is vertically this way. Same with white and yellow on the bottom layer. Now a second thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that the same color is not on top of each other. So in this case, it's actually wrong. We have white here, and on the bottom it's white. So white is on top of white, and if we look on the left side, it is the same thing. We have yellow on top of yellow. When this happens, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the top twice. And this will set us up into a case where yellow's on top of white and white's on top of yellow. So they're not on top of each other, and we have both these vertical bars, so this is good. When we're in this position, we're just simply going to turn the right side up, and that will actually solve all the yellow and white for us. Okay, in this next step, what we're going to do is we're going to solve what we call the top and the bottom layers. So the top and the bottom layers are referencing all of these pieces in all of these pieces. A layer is the piece that surrounds its respective face. So all of this is the top layer, and all of this is the bottom layer. We're going to be solving all of these pieces, and I'm going to show you how right now. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to look in the top layer. So remember, top layer is all of these pieces. And we're going to look to see if any of the two colors on the face in the top layer right here, they match. So green and red don't match. Blue and green also don't match. Red and blue don't match. But oh, right here I have orange and orange. This matches. If you have a bar of two matching pieces, what we're going to do is turn the top layer so that we move that bar so it's facing our left side. Once we do that, we're going to do this longer sequence. So pay attention here. We're going to do the right side up. We're going to turn the top this way. We're going to do the right side down. We're going to turn the top back. We're going to do the right side down and the front down this way. We're going to turn the top this way, front side down. We're going to turn the top back and front side down again. If we see now, that actually solved all of the top layer for us. So in short, what you would do is you would do that thing for the top layer. You would flip the cube upside down, look for a bar again, put it on your left, do that sequence, and then just basically repeat that whole process. However, there is another one or two cases that show up that are not, like what happens if you don't have a bar, and I'm going to show you how to solve those now. Okay, so this next case is what to do if you check your top layer and you have no bar at all. So if we have no bar, we're actually going to do the same thing as if there was a bar. We're going to do that same sequence. The only difference is we're not actually going to care where the placement of the top layer pieces are. We're just going to do that sequence so long as all the pieces we want to solve are in the top layer. So again, the sequence looks like this. Right side up, top this way, right side down, top back. Right side down, front this way, top this way, front this way again, top this way, and front down once more. Once you've done this, you actually have a bar now in your top layer. And you can place that bar on your left and do that sequence like normal to solve your whole top layer. With that being said, we are now on to our last step where we are going to be solving the cube, just like that. And now I'm going to show you how to do that. It is not that hard to do anymore. It's just one simple algorithm. We're going to do it multiple times. So the first thing we're going to want to do is notice that we're solving basically the middle layer to solve the cube. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this middle layer a few times until we notice one of these pieces is solved relative to the other pieces. So for example, this piece is not solved relative to everything else because we have two blues, two reds, but an orange and green sandwich in the middle. That's bad. But if we were to turn it like this, just one time, now notice we have three blues and three reds. This piece is solved relative to these two pieces, so this is good. When you could get some random piece solved relative to the top and bottom layers, that's good. And we're going to hold it in our front left middle area, like right here. And from this, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the rest of the cube now to see if we could find more information. Now, the first case that could happen is not only is our front left middle piece solved, but our back right middle piece is also solved. When this happens, what we're going to do is we're going to do the right side up, top twice. We're going to do this 2 more times. So right side up, top twice, right side up, and top twice. And this actually leads into our second case, which I'll show you now. Now for this next case, we're going to notice that there are 1, 2, 3 other pieces that are unsolved. However, 2 of them actually look halfway solved. So this is one of them that looks halfway solved because this piece is orange and green, and that green actually lines up with that green side. It just doesn't line up with this red on the red side. This other piece is also halfway solved. It's blue and orange. The blue doesn't match with the green, but the orange matches with all this orange. And this last piece doesn't match with anything at all. Red does not match the orange, and green does not match the blue. And this case in itself actually has 2 variations. You're going to have a variation where... So let's return back before I show the variations, where we're holding the cube where that piece we solved earlier, and we put it in our front left. We're going to hold it there again. So the 2 variations are where that one piece that does not solve relative to anything else near it, the first variation is going to be when it's in the back left, and the other variation is going to be when it's in our front right. So the case I have right now is when that completely unsolved piece is in that back left. When it's in our back left, we're going to rotate the cube so it's in our back right now, and we're going to do this sequence again, that sequence from earlier again. We're going to do the right side up, top twice, and do it 2 more times. So right side up, top twice, right side up, and top twice. And they'll actually solve that back right piece. Now, if we had that similar case where we had this front left piece solved like we should, but that completely unsolved piece is in our front right, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate, so instead of in our front right, it is in our back left. And then we're going to do that same sequence from earlier, but kind of mirrored to the left side. So we're going to do the left side up, top twice, left side up again, top twice, and left side up again, top twice. And that will solve that back left piece. If you've done everything right up to this point, you should be on the complete last case of the last step now, and that is where you have two pieces that look right on one side of the piece, but like wrong on the other side, and the other two pieces are completely solved. So these are the two ones that look half right. The orange matches, but the green does not match blue, and blue does not match green. So when this happens, you want to hold these two bad pieces on the right side. We're going to do that original right top algorithm again. So we're going to do right up, top twice, right up, top twice, and right up, top twice. And with that, your cube should be solved. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what cubes I should teach you guys how to solve next. And again, if you like this video, please be sure to click this playlist that's about to pop up. You can learn how to solve all the other Rubik's Cubes that I've taught.